In this video, I'm going to be showing you a great way to paint your Emperor's Children no matter your skill level, even if you've not painted before. And so you can follow along, this is an easy to follow step-by-step guide explaining all the steps and techniques, so you'll have the confidence and knowledge to get your own Emperor's Children fully painted. And if you stick around until the end, I'll be showing you how to paint things like pipes and tassels. Welcome to TableTopReady, my name's Michael, and I want to show you that painting Emperor's Children doesn't have to be difficult, and once you know how, you'll be able to paint some miniatures you can be really proud of. All of the paints and brushes I use throughout this tutorial will be shown on the screen as I use them, and they'll also be listed in the description along with any hobby equipment I think you'll find useful, with affiliate links to where you can buy them. And before we get started, I want to say a massive thank you to all the amazing people who've made this tutorial possible with their continued support. It really means a lot. It allows me to get all the paints, brushes and miniatures I need to make these tutorials, so I can continue to help you get better at painting. As well, if you enjoy my content here on TableTopReady, then let me know by clicking that like button, and why not leave me a comment. I love reading them and hearing about your own hobby. Before we get started, we'll have to get our miniatures ready for painting, which I've made a dedicated video about on the channel. For this video, I'll be keeping the arms and backpack separate from the body. This means we can get to places that would normally be difficult to get to if they'd been fully assembled. I've also chosen to undercoat my Emperor's Children with white scar, which is going to help us paint some of those vibrant colours. And once you're done building and undercoating your Emperor's Children, we can get started. Let's start by getting the trim and other metal details painted so we don't have to worry about being messy later. The first colour we want to get painted is Iron Hand Steel, and this is for all the trim on our Emperor's Children. For best results when painting, we always want to thin our paint, and I find an equal amount of water does the trick. And I would also remove excess paint on some paper towel first, so we don't have an overloaded brush when painting. And when we're ready, we want to keep our brush moving and avoid going over areas we've already painted, to prevent creating any unwanted texture whilst the paint is still drying. When you're done, because we thinned our paint, it won't have covered very well, so let's repeat the process and paint another layer. This also means we can build up to a solid colour without losing any details in our miniatures. Just make sure each layer is fully dried first before doing another one. The next colour we want to paint is Liberated Gold, for any gold details and trim you have. And for any of the more lighter bronze metals, we can use Canoptech alloy. Something else we need to understand is we're allowed to be messy and make mistakes. It's all part of the fun, and we can neaten up and correct any mistakes as we continue to paint. If we want better results and nice looking miniatures, then we need to get our heads around the basics and how we apply our paint. We also need to put this into practice if we want to level up our painting skills. With the metals painted, let's see how we can make our details easier to see, creating definition. So the next thing to do on our metals is to apply a couple of shades. We're first using Druchii Violet on our silver trim. And for the other two metals, we want to first thin down some Volupus Pink with Lamy Medium, and we want 1 part Volupus Pink with 6 parts Lamy Medium. This is going to weaken the strength of the Volupus Pink so it doesn't overpower the colours we use it over, so we can keep the vibrant colour but still create definition and interest with it. When applying a shade, we want to use enough so we cover these areas comfortably to avoid it building up too much in areas we don't want it to. Then once those have dried, you'll see how they've helped to bring out all those rivets and details. To bring out the details even more, we can do a dry brush, which is a nice easy way to pick out edges and raise details. We're using Stormhost Silver, and we first want to work that paint into our brush before removing as much as we can on our paper towel until it's no longer coming off the brush. Once you're ready, let's move our brush rapidly across details, so these are the only areas which paint will deposit, leaving recesses and shallow areas untouched. Take your time doing this and build your highlights up slowly, as we don't want to overpower what you've already done. After you've done the dry brush, we've finished all of our metals, and we can move on to getting everything else painted. Let's work on getting all of our other colours painted now, which is going to make life so much easier. Let's start with that pink armour, but because of the dry brush things are a bit messy, so let's use some Corex white first of all to tidy things up where that pink is going to be. When you're ready, we can use Fulgrim Pink, and if you want help deciding where to paint this, we can always use the box or the Warhammer website for reference. Again, always remember to thin your paint and paint multiple layers for best results. When you're done, we're going to use our thinned Volupus Pink and Lamy Medium wash to create definition and interest. This time though, we do want to let the wash pool around the lower parts of panels to create different tones of the armour. Using shades and washes are a great way to create definition and interest on our miniatures. Just remember that they can be messy and they will affect any colours that we use them over. With that wash dried, we can move on to painting all the other details on our Emperor's Children. For the black panels of the armour, let's use a Baden Black. After that, for any ribbon under the armour, instead of using a Baden Black, we can use Corvus Black if you want to. We can paint any belts and pouches using Rhinox Hide. And if you have any stretched skin, let's paint it Kislev Flesh. Once you're done, let's take time to neaten up before creating our definition. Let's use Norn Oil for any belts and pouches. Then after that, we can use Reichen Flesh Shade for stretched skin. When those have dried, it's now time to get everything highlighted. Let's start with highlighting our pink armour using Fulgrim Pink, and instead of doing a dry brush, I want to show you how to edge highlight. The idea behind highlighting is to bring out any edges, areas and raised details to draw our attention to them and to make these features stand out even more. To make this easier, we can angle our brush and run it along an edge to create a highlight. And if you can't do this, then we just have to take our time painting thin lines where we want those highlights to be. Creating highlights this way is a lot less messy than doing a dry brush. If we want to improve our brush control and hand-eye coordination, then the best thing to do is to learn and practice edge highlighting, and this is also going to improve the look of our miniatures. Now we've learnt to line highlight, let's highlight any black areas of the armour with Thunderhawk Blue, then the ribbon under the armour with Dawnstone. Using a different colour to highlight black can really help separate these details from each other. Let's continue highlighting any belts and pouches using Gorthor Brown. And before we move on to painting some of the more fun stuff, let's finish highlighting using Flayed One Flesh for the stretched skin. I think we're now ready to paint the more fun stuff, which we're going to do in the last part of this tutorial. We're now going to finish up this tutorial adding interest, painting some of the more fun details like the pipes and tassels. Let's start with those pipes using Incubi Darkness for our base colour. Next we want to paint quite a thick line using our Cabalite Green along the length of any pipe. Finish any pipes with a thin line of Gauss Blaster Green to highlight. We can add more interest and colour to blades using Druchii Violet on alternating sides of the blade. Emperor's Children are very vibrant and have lots of different colours on them, but no, you can paint them however you like. I just want to show you what's possible. They're your miniatures, just make sure you're enjoying doing what you're doing. The next thing to get painted are any tassels, starting with Gauss Blaster Green. When you're done with the first colour, let's thin down some Cabalite Green with twice the amount of Lamy Medium. This is going to help get into the recesses of the tassels. We can then finish highlighting these details using Deepkin Flesh. The last details I want to show you how to paint are the lenses, starting with Cabalite Green. Then if you're up for it, let's paint a thin line of Deepkin Flesh along the bottom of each lens. Then the last thing to do is to paint a dot of white scar in the top rear corner of each lens. I know that painting Emperor's Children can seem really daunting, with all those different colours and details on them, but now that you've watched this video, hopefully you feel like you're able to go away and paint some for your own collection. So let's see how it turned out. But before we see the reveal, I do want to take a moment to thank PKPK1177, Loan Me a Smile, Chordas Norbert, and Sam N, who have all recently become supporters or has donated to the channel. Thank you so much. And if you enjoy the content here on TableTopReady and want to help support the channel as well, you can become a channel member or join my Patreon, which gives you access to our Discord, regular updates, and you'll get to watch videos and tutorials early. We've now finished painting our Emperor's Children, and I hope I've been able to give you the confidence and knowledge to get your own painted. I've got plenty of other tutorials on the channel, including how to paint some of the other Chaos Legions, so make sure to go and check those out as well. I really do enjoy making these tutorials and I hope you find them useful. If you do, then please leave a like and let me know in the comments below. As well, make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss out on future content, and I'll see you in the next video.